Okay, here we are with a little bit of a 9-ball magic rack on the 7-foot table. Shout out to Justin Bergman for doing this lately and inspiring some of us to try it ourselves. Here is 8 racks in a row. Spoiler alert, I definitely do miss on my knife. Also like to point out that is a Jam Up Apparel jersey. They are very, very good to me. And if you guys would like to check them up on their website, it is jamupapparel.com. Now for the break. The wing ball goes in the corner. Also, the wing ball with the magic rack on the 7-foot usually goes every single time in the corner if you rack the balls right. The break here is a little bit boring, of course. It's kind of more of a soft break, playing shape on the 1 to the same corner every single time. I have a pretty thin cut here. I make the ball send the cue ball 1 rail, 2 rails. This is just dead high English, dead high spin. Maybe just a little bit of high right, make the cue ball go straight. But here, shooting the 2, and I'm going to draw back for the 3. This would be a low spin shot. Draw 1 rail off the long rail, bounce off the short rail, straight in on the 3 on the side. I'm making sure when I look at this shot here that the 3, I'm just checking to see how far it is off the rail. That way I know how far or how hard I can hit the ball and still pocket it. As you see, I slow roll it in, and a 3 actually hit the points and then fell. So it was definitely close to not being a pocketable ball in that side pocket. Here was probably the key shot of this rack. I have the 4 ball and the 6-7. The combination's not lined up. The 6 goes up table. So I shoot the 4 ball with a little bit of high left spin to send the cue ball off the long rail down here to the short rail. That way I am straight in on the 6 in the corner. Also, as you can tell right there on that jersey, the printing on the jersey is very, very clear. It is top-notch stuff, guys. Please check it out on the website if you have any billiards apparel needs. They are the absolute go-to. Okay, 7 ball. I'm going to pocket in the low right corner with just a dead low cue ball. And that puts me straight in for the 9. All right, there's 1 rack. Now time to rack the balls and start over again. Feel free to fast forward to the next rack if you like, but if not, I do want to mention I have a discount code. It is Wallace15 on the Jam Up Apparel website. That will get you 15% off the apparel on the website. Anything other than signature lines, which would be like the Predator signature line, Tyler Steyer, players such as that. But yes, the normal apparel on there, 15% off. That is Wallace15 code. Okay, for the second break, same thing. Aiming basically directly at the 1 ball here. Nice, easy break. I actually broke these balls bad. I know I still made the wing ball in the corner, the bottom right corner, but my cue ball was actually bad. I did not stop it. It floated back, and in turn, since I did not stop it, the 1 ball never had enough momentum to track toward the top left corner like I wanted it to. So I have to definitely be a little bit creative on this out here. 1 to the 2 is a little tough. The cue ball is pretty close to the long rail, as you can see, but the 1 does go in the side pocket. I have to hit this with a high left spin on the cue ball, pocketing the 1 on the side. This sends my cue ball off the long rail, just past the 6 for shape on the 2. I honestly could not be more happy with the shape I just got here on the 2. And right now I will tell you what I was doing. I had Justin Bergman's run playing in the background, was kind of watching his break. This was my second attempt at trying to run a package. The first time I actually ran a 3, and then on the 4th break I did not have a shot. So this is my second attempt at trying to run back-to-back racks, string as many as I can together. But anyway, the 2 ball, pretty standard. The 2 there in the corner, the 3's closed for position. The 4 is off the end rail down here, off the short rail. So this should be no problem. Just pocketing the 2. Make sure not to leave the cue ball on the rail. Popping out for the 3 in the side or the 3 in the corner, whichever one you prefer from here. I decided to shoot it in the side, float the cue ball down. This is just center cue ball, just a tad bit of high, easy stroke, floats the cue ball over for the 4. Now 4 to the 5. I shoot the 4 with a dead high cue ball, just dead center high, and pop out for the 5 center table. I actually overran position a little bit here. I wanted to have more of an angle on the 5. That way I could play an easier shape on to the 6 ball. I actually got a little straight on the 5. Shooting the 5, dead center cue ball. I'll be completely honest, I mishit this ball a little bit. I was trying to come off the long rail and then back out toward the middle. So I left myself a bank shot on the 6, which I did not want to shoot, but on the 7-foot bar table, the bank shots tend to feel like they have a pretty big pocket. So I banked the ball across side, play shape on the 7. Here, I just use a little bit of high right spin on the cue ball, come down, and I play shape to the 9 in the bottom left corner. Some people do not like to shoot over the magic rack on these shots. Sometimes it bothers me, sometimes it don't. It did not in this instance, obviously. And to be completely honest, it was only my 2nd rack in a row, so it wasn't a super, super important shot if I did miss. Probably shouldn't think this way, but that's what was running through my mind. So, okay, let's rack the balls up and get ready for the next. I want to include in this run, the tip on my shaft is a thoroughbred layer tip. I currently play with a medium soft thoroughbred layer tip. They do have a website, they have a Facebook. If you'd like to get on there, check them out, thoroughbred layer tips. $10 each, you cannot beat the price point. It is pigskin, top quality. And mention my name in the notes if you happen to do order one when you purchase. This just helps me as far as a sponsorship point of view. I get nothing from it. But all right, guys, here we go with the break again. I hit this one a little better. I stopped my cue ball a little better. It did float back some, but since I did stop the cue ball, the 1 actually had momentum to track toward the corner. So this was one of my better breaks this run. I actually decided to move the magic rack, as you can see. But the 1, anyway, I'm going to play in the top left-hand corner, and the 2 goes here in the bottom right-hand corner as we look at it. So to do this, to make sure I get really straight in on the 2 ball, I use just the hair of top right-hand spin to come off the short rail there and come in toward the 2 ball. If I would just use high, the cue ball would be a little bit more to the left right now. So I wanted to have a straight-in shot on the 2, that way I did not have to bump the 4. As I did here, I was straight on the 2. I draw back for a little bit of low spin on the cue ball. I have the 4 now in the side or the corner. I decided to shoot it in the side with just high spin on the cue ball, maybe just a hair of high right to bring my cue ball back out to the middle table. Now for the 5 in the bottom left-hand corner. The 7 is up on the in rail, so I come 2 rails for position here using a low right spin, 1 rail, 2 rails, position for the 7. The worst thing that could happen for me was to get straight in on the 7. I did not, thankfully. Even if I did, the heat was pretty easy. But I did have an angle, which was great. I used a high right spin there to come back out for the middle of the table, be straight on the 8, draw back just a hair to be straight on the 9 or close. And that pretty much sums up this rack here. That was my 3rd rack in a row I ran. I'm moving the quarter up to the 3rd diamond to indicate that's my 3rd rack. I did not move it last rack. Feel free to go back in the video to double check me if you'd like, but that was my 3rd rack. Also, I want to shout out Digital Pool here. Digital Pool decided to sponsor me recently. It is an online software that you can use to run tournaments. There's also other great features if you really want to get in depth with it, to include it in your pool room, to have every table streamed and so forth. The scores, everything is all digitally done. People can log in to Digital Pool during tournaments and check the live scores on matches currently or past scores on matches. Check out the brackets. It's a great, great software, and I do believe Pool is advancing with Digital Pool and other online platforms to help with tournaments. But I definitely want to shout out them. Great, great company. Isaac Booten is the owner, and he wants big, big things for Pool and is doing big things. Okay, for my 4th break here, I hit this one pretty well. The cue ball went really well. Didn't travel too much. I sent the 1 ball toward the corner again, just like I want. I almost was hooked by the 5 ball. The 5 ball come into contention as far as stopping my run here. Thankfully, it did not. It left me a wide open shot on the 1. And also, the 2 ball allowed me to cue the cue ball very well. So I just shoot the 1 in the corner with a low left spin to draw off the long rail to be straight in, basically, on the 2. The shot after that would be the 4 ball, it looks like. The 3 is gone off the table. So I'm shooting the 4 in the side here. And I wanted to roll down further toward the camera here. That way I could just float to the 4 on the side and have the 5 straight in. But what happened was I came up short of my position. We call this being on the wrong side of the object ball. I'm on the wrong side of the object ball here, so I decided to shoot the 4 in the side still, but I hit this with a low left spin, just like that. You've seen the cue ball hit the first long rail, then the short rail, and go straight back out on the table instead of coming around toward the 9-6. I did not want to disturb the 9-6 because they were out in the open. So now I have a longer shot in the 5, that's okay. I shoot the 5 with a stun to the long rail and pop out toward the middle of the table. I wanted to come a little bit further, but I was kind of straight in on the 5, so I didn't have much angle. So now I'm shooting the 6 here in the bottom left with just a direct draw. No low left, no low right, direct low spin with a certain stroke, and that allows my cue ball to go straight to the right, straight back out toward the 7. Shoot the 7 the side, stop shot, 9 straight in the corner. Okay, that concludes that rack. That was my 4th consecutive rack ran. I do want to mention the league room in this video. The league room is my home pool room. They are out of Parkersburg, West Virginia. Yes, I am an Ohio player. I am from Ohio, but Parkersburg is an hour and 35 minutes from me, and basically the closest pool room to my front door. That is the room I go to the most to practice. They support me very, very much, and I'm very, very thankful for them. If you'd like, please check out their Facebook, Instagram. They have a TikTok. It is the league room. They have weekly tournaments, I believe 2 nights a week. It is a great, great pool room. Many tables, multiple level floors. They have other sources of entertainment such as axe throwing, all kinds of video games, like an arcade for the kids. They do absolutely all kinds of things as far as entertainment. They are a pool room in one of the best hidden gems in the tri-state area. Please check out the league room. Okay, now for the next break. Same thing basically, wanting to get a good cue ball here. Stop center table, send the 1 toward the top left corner. I did this, I had a good cue ball, but the 6 came and hit my cue ball toward the 1. Thankfully, when the 1 and the cue ball collided, they did create some separation here. So I decide to elevate my cue, shoot the 1 ball in here with a little bit of a low left spin to float out, hopefully straight in on the 2 or close. But I actually overhit it just a hair. Now, the 2 cutting it into the side pocket is super, super thin from here, and I cannot hold position for the 5. And I do not like shooting this ball on the side. The camera does not describe exactly how thin this has to be. So what I do have available is the 2 ball cross corner. Yes, this is a risky shot, but it guarantees position on the 5 ball if I do make it, and I will be able to continue the run if I do make it. Here you see me checking my angle. For this shot, I'm just hitting direct low left cue ball. Great smooth stroke. I did not overpower the shot, did not underpower this shot. Just want to hit it hard enough to keep the true angle, and thankfully I did make the ball, and I drew over for position on the 5 to continue the run out on this rack. I shot the 5 there with a little bit of stun, high left to pop out for the 6. Now I have the 6 in the corner or the 6 in the side, whichever you prefer. The 6 in the side to me seemed fairly simple because all I had to do was hit low on the cue ball to drag it over for the 7-9 combination. The combination is lined up very well. You still want to give it the time it deserves and make sure, which you see me do. I shoot the combination there. This rack is completed. 7-9 combo is a win, and that is my 5th consecutive rack in a row. Okay, if you stuck around this long through the video, I want to thank you all for checking out the run. 8 is a decent run. I know we have a few more to go here, but I definitely want to thank you for sticking out for this long of a video. And I hope you enjoy the commentary. If there's anything you think I can do to improve the videos, please let me know. I will say major advancements definitely do take a lot more time in editing and stuff like that. I try to keep it fairly simple for myself so I don't spend too much time, but I also want to have it informative for the people that do watch this. So hopefully we can learn something together and definitely make pool better and get some people educated. And maybe I'll even learn something about myself watching these, which I do constantly. Okay, for the next rack, I would like to ask you guys if you would please give this a like or a thumbs up. Please think about subscribing or following. It definitely helps me out a lot. It gives me the drive to keep doing these videos and allows them to get out to more people based on the algorithms. Okay, for the break. This was actually a really good one. The cue ball got kissed further down the table. I did stop it pretty well. It did get kissed down further. The 1 did float toward the top left-hand corner as it has been, which is the plan. Unfortunately, the 6 did get in way of the 1 going in the corner pocket, but thankfully the combination did line up. Although it is a fairly simple combination, you see me giving it the credit that it needs. I'm making sure to control my 1 ball off of this shot. So I lined up the combination. I shoot this with a high right cue ball, mainly high, just a little bit of high right. I make the combination. What I did do wrong was I allowed the cue ball to end on the long rail a little bit too close, but thankfully the 1 stayed toward the corner. So this shot here, I shot with dead high cue ball, go 1 rail, 2 rails back out to be straight in on the 2 and the side. And in fact, I hit it hard enough and firm enough to have just a little bit of angle so I could float toward the 5 the next shot, which is ideal. Note when I shoot this 5 ball, I do not want to be straight in. I know it doesn't really matter, but you always want to have an angle playing pool for the most part, which I do here. Just shoot the 5 ball dead high English, high spin, and come out for the 7 straight in. Shooting the 7, I want to draw back toward the middle of the table so I have a straighter in angle on the 8, just like so. I shoot the 8 with a high left spin here. And I come around 1 rail, 2 rails to be straight in on the 9. Okay, that concluded 6 consecutive racks ran. Now for the break on the 7th rack. I believe this 7th rack was one of the more interesting racks here. Hit this with a little bit more speed, it looked like. The cue ball stopped fairly well. The 1 did track toward the corner, but unfortunately the 2 ball came in between the path of my cue ball and the 1 ball. So all I am left here, well, I would say my most high percentage shot here is the jump shot. And my goal is if I make this jump shot to use the 8 to stop my cue ball, so it would be somewhere close to the 2. That way hopefully I have a shot in the 2, particularly in the bottom left corner or the side left corner, the left side corner. Here for the jump. Nice little pop shot there. A nice little jump shot. That is the BK, Predator BK Air Rush. I'm a huge fan of this jump cue. There's other great jump cues out there as well. This is one I choose to use for this exact reason. I feel like I control my cue ball very well with it on the jump shots at my skill level. So I did get a shot on the 2 after making the 1, thankfully. It's very important that I play position on the 3 here. It does not pass the 8 in the corner. It does, but it's very tight, so I want to fall in between the 3 and the 8 with my cue ball. If you notice, the 2 actually, what we call, brushed its feet going into the pocket there. If I was to hit that any more firm, I probably would have not have pocketed the 2, but thankfully it did fall. I shoot the 3 in the side with a dead low cue ball to draw straight out to the middle of the table. I did leave myself an angle on the 5. I did not want to be straight in because the 6 is blocked by the 9 a little bit. So this angle on the 5 with a little bit of low left spin or left spin to go 1 rail. I went just straight left spin there to go 1 rail, 2 rails, and I went back out to the middle of the table. I did want to go a little bit further with my cue ball here because now this is a little bit awkward. I'm cueing over the 8, unfortunately, and I'm afraid to hit this too firm because with low right spin because I might come over and scratch in the right side pocket, the center right pocket. So I remind myself that I'm playing on a 7-foot table here. I decide to shoot the 6 ball with just a dead high cue ball, maybe a little bit of high left to go 1 rail, 2 rails back out to the center of the table to play the 7 on the side. What I did there, I do not want to misinform you. I just used dead high spin on the cue ball, which would be center high cue ball. to go 1 rail, 2 rails, back out to the side pocket to shoot the 7 to the side. I have 2 options here. I can shoot the 7 to the side and roll forward with the cue ball, like so, or I probably could have stopped it, but I decided to roll forward. Unfortunately, here is another error, and I make 2 errors back to back. I got straight in on the 8 ball, so therefore I cannot draw my cue ball over toward the 9 to make the 9 ball easier. What I should have done here was just dead stop my cue ball, shoot the 8 ball in, dead stop the cue ball, then cut the 9 down the rail. I tried to get fancy. I've did this many times and it works out, and many times it does not. As you see here, I use a power draw stroke to go 1 rail and try to pop out to the further up table to cut the 9 in the corner here, but I came up short. That was an error. I do not think anybody probably should have done that in that situation. But thankfully, I set myself up for the easy bank, and I did make the bank. But again, the right shot there was to shoot the 8 ball, dead stop the cue ball, and cut the 9 down in the corner. This is a 7-foot table. A player of my caliber, even much lesser caliber, is supposed to make that 9 ball down the rail to continue the run. The draw stroke was not the correct shot there. Okay, 7 consecutive racks ran. Now for the break shot. This was a pretty good break. I dead stopped the cue ball, sent the 1 ball again to the top left-hand corner like I tried. I'm noticing now that there's a ball that usually it comes into play or almost comes into play, as you can see near the 1. So later on, I'm going to try to figure out the break to avoid this issue. So I just learned something watching my own videos. So videoing is a great technique, by the way, guys. Do it yourself. I don't care what skill level you're on. Video yourself. Go back, watch it. You can learn something. There, I decided to shoot the 1 ball in the top left-hand corner with a little of high right spin to send my cue ball back out for the 2 on the side, as you see. It's right near the 7. I shoot the 2 on the side here with a draw stroke, low spin to come back out to the middle of the table for the 3. I hit a little bit firm. I want to stop about 6-8 inches shorter. That way I wasn't straight in on the 3. I could have played the in rail up top to come toward the 4, but now I just draw straight toward the 4. What I did was I mishit the 3 ball. I hit the 3 ball on the right side of it, not directly in the face. And so when I drew the cue ball, I left myself a severe angle on the 4. This was an error. This is exactly why when I shot the 2 ball, it was important to stop the cue ball sooner. That way I never, ever had these issues. But I do have a shot here. I have the 4 down the corner. And as far as playing position, I decided to send the cue ball 1 rail, 2 rails, back out for the 5, somewhere near where it's at now. Excuse me, I played 3 rails. I guess my speed there, my speed, I was more comfortable pocketing the ball. So I played 1 rail, 2 rail, 3 rails back out toward the middle of the table. And I hit that one very well, actually. Shooting the 5, I go 1 rail, 2 rails, back out to the middle of the table. Again, this is just a high cue ball, high center cue ball. Now I have the 6 in the top left-hand corner. The 7 is sitting next to the right center pocket. So this here is fairly simple. Shoot the 6 in the corner. And I believe I use a high cue ball to come back down toward the middle of the table. I actually put a little bit of high left on that cue ball to come back toward the middle of the table. That way I don't leave myself an angle on the 7 and sending my cue ball away from the 9. So now I'm straight on the 7, and the 9 will be easy. After I pocket this ball, I should be straight on the 9. Like so. Make sure we're still videoing. Cute. humid in here today. Okay, that is 8 racks in a row. As you guys just seen, I did clean the balls. The reason why, it was pouring down rain for the last 2 days in this video. The building that I'm in is heated with propane. Basically what I'm getting at, the humidity level is very, very high this day. Everything is getting super, super sticky. I might have made a mistake by doing this in the middle of a run. I don't know. I still stand by it because the balls were so sticky. My cue was sticky, hands were sticky. I wanted to clean them. This here is the 9th rack. So as we know, labeled in the video, this rack is not ran out, and here you will see why. The break shot, same thing I'm trying. Stop the cue ball, send the one toward the corner. I floated the cue ball back, and it got double kissed by 2 different balls toward the one, and the one and the cue ball are almost touching here. I wish that was further away. Maybe I could have created something else. The 2 shots I have, I could thin the one and send the cue ball toward the 7 and try to pocket the 7, but the 7 is actually off the end rail there a little further than the camera makes it look. So I did not like this shot. I did not think it was my best percentage shot. My best percentage shot, I thought, was using the side rail to my left, the long rail, and kicking the one in the top right-hand corner, and hopefully being able to see the 2 ball. After this run right here, I do have a couple things to say. If you would please tune into them at the end. It mentions Justin Bergman and a couple other key points, and I really, really want to give everyone credit that's inspiring players like myself to try these things. But here you see me really taking my time. I'm trying to figure out the highest percentage shot to shoot here. I did not like the carom shot, so I decided to kick 1-2 at the 1. I did get it going that way. Unfortunately, the ball did not fall. That is the end of my run. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. 8's all I got. If you notice my jersey that I'm wearing, it's a Jam Up Apparel jersey. They got some awesome stuff. It's comfortable to play in. I've been out here for a few hours now. I've played 30 hours straight in tournaments of these before. It's really good gear. If you'd like, I have a discount code for you. And anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you don't care, give me a follow on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everything. It's NathanWallacePoolPlayer. I'm a little devastated I got bad on that one, but oh well. Anyway, shout out to Justin Bergman for kind of like inspiring me to try this. I've never tried this. Justin's ran like an 18 and a 15 recently, and he is obviously a world-class player. I always fluctuate between that like 725, 730 range, somewhere Fargo-wise. And so, like I say, it's not too bad. This is my second attempt at it today, so I think I'm gonna be done for the day. But anyway, shout out to Justin. What an absolute beast. And with that, I'm gonna get off here, and my buddy's coming over, and we're gonna hit some balls, hang out. Everybody, have a good week. Thank you.